Welcome to the Smart Weight Loss Coaching Podcast. I'm Dr. Lisa Olson, a board-certified weight loss medicine specialist and certified life coach. In this podcast, I'll share fresh insights and effective techniques for incorporating mindset, habit change, and proven science into your life. Are you ready to achieve sustainable weight loss, wellness, and longevity? Then let's jump in and lose weight the smart way. Welcome back. Last month, a woman I know from a community women's group suggested we go out to lunch. Let's call her Debbie. We've been in a networking group together for over a year, so I was open to the idea of forging a friendship outside of the group. On the day of our lunch date, we were settling in and looking over the menus when she asked if I'd like to split a sandwich. Just a little background. I had had a bustling morning and didn't have a hot second to eat breakfast, which is unusual, so I skipped it even though I was hungry. By the time I met Debbie for lunch, I was famished. I was already looking forward to the tuna melt on rye with a side salad at this delightful local place in my neighborhood. The sandwiches aren't those enormous sandwiches you get served at some places. This is a pretty normal-sized tuna melt, and it's a favorite treat of mine when I have the opportunity to go out for lunch. So when Debbie suggested splitting the sandwich, I couldn't think of anything less appealing, to be honest. I was eager to eat the entire thing myself, and I had absolutely no angst about it. Sometimes I do remove the top piece of bread when I'm not that hungry, and I'll eat it as an open-faced sandwich, but today wasn't one of those days. I thanked her for the offer to split, but explained how hungry I was, and we each ordered our own tuna melt, which I completely devoured and enjoyed. I ate every last bite of the sandwich and every last leaf of the salad, plus my water. Just so you know, I gave this absolutely no thought during or right afterward because it was a healthy, reasonable lunch. A homemade tuna salad and locally baked bread. I didn't realize at the time that my eating habits were being scrutinized. Fast forward to last week when Debbie and I were meeting some other women to talk about a new venue idea for my 2025 Women's Wellness Retreat. In past years, I've held it in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, but this year I wanted to hold it in the town where I live, just north of Chicago. I was meeting with some women at a cafe at 1:30 p.m., and I wasn't sure if this was a coffee meeting or a lunch meeting. I texted the women to confirm and said I'd love to have lunch with them if that's what they had in mind. Here's the juicy part of the story. Take a listen to what Debbie said in the group chat. She said, I would love to see Lisa throw down another big sandwich, followed by a crying and laughing emoji. What does that even mean? I'd love to see Lisa throw down another big sandwich. The other women didn't know anything about our prior tuna melt lunch, unless this text implies that she had told them how I threw down a big sandwich all by myself. I just could not fathom what she was trying to accomplish with that statement. It got me thinking about how common it is for people to experience judgment or shaming about their bodies, their weight, or their food choices. In some ways, I felt lucky as I was processing this comment. It was so strange, and I also have such confidence that I have a healthy lifestyle that I was able to recognize it for what it was. Her issue, not mine. But not everyone has the luxury of that confidence, and I'm sure there was a time when I would have been embarrassed by what she said. Maybe that was the goal, maybe not. But the fact remains that shaming people for their eating habits or their weight or their bodies has never been taboo, sadly. I hear stories like this all the time. In particular, many people I work with remember with absolute clarity the first time or the most public time someone fat-shamed them. Here's what I want you to know about other people's comments. Actually, first, let's hear a word from our sponsor, and then we'll talk about how to navigate other people's comments about our bodies, our weight, and our eating habits. Haha, just kidding. It's still me, Dr. Lisa Olson, founder of Smart Weight Loss Coaching. If you're as focused on your health as you are on the scale, you're my person. In my online program, we'll help you establish healthy habits for weight loss, better health, and longevity. For those of you who have looked at our website before, you'll be excited to see that you no longer have to commit to a 3-month program to join us. If you'd like to learn more about our affordable monthly membership, head over to smartweightlosscoaching.com. Back to the topic of deliberately shaming comments. Here's what I want you to know. You get to decide what you make it mean when someone says unkind words. I'm not saying that it's easy to let it bounce off you, but only that it's possible to reframe any comment to change how it makes you feel. I'll give you an example. When Debbie said, "I'd love to see Lisa throw down another big sandwich," I had a choice about what to make it mean. I could have made it mean something negative about myself by thinking, "I'm embarrassed for being such a pig and eating an entire sandwich and salad by myself. Debbie's so petite and obviously more disciplined. She barely touched her lunch, unlike me." If I thought something like that, I would have felt ashamed. And let's be honest, when we feel ashamed, we're more likely to make unhealthy choices. You know that feeling of ruminating about something? If I added my own shaming thoughts to Debbie's comments, I could have ruminated the rest of the day about it and ended up eating some ice cream or drinking a glass of wine later to soothe myself. And that would have added fuel to the fire, confirming my negative thought that I'm such a pig. This is where we have the opportunity to change the narrative, to create a different outcome. When Debbie said, I'm sorry, I keep repeating this. I just can't believe it. When Debbie said, "I'd love to see Lisa throw down another big sandwich," there are a lot of thoughts I could choose that wouldn't make me feel ashamed. Here are just a few that I came up with. Debbie must be struggling with something herself if she feels the need to bring other people down. Or, it's odd that an adult would judge another adult's eating. I don't actually have any recollection of how much of her own sandwich Debbie ate, which seems more normal. Or, I have a feeling Debbie has some food or body issues, even though she's thin. Someone must have judged her food or her eating when she was younger, and now she's reacting to her hurt by lashing out at others. That's kind of a version of saying, hurt people hurt people. Do you know that saying? She's been hurt by someone, and so she's lashing out at me. That brings me to one more thought I could choose. That comment had nothing to do with me. She's got something going on, because no one thinking straight would make a snarky comment like that in a group text. Now, I'd like you to guess how those curated thoughts might make me feel. Instead of feeling ashamed or even annoyed with Debbie, I found myself feeling some compassion for her. I don't really know her well, and I don't know what she's been through. Maybe she's had an eating disorder, or she's been bullied, or she's insecure, feeling imposter syndrome. She might just be having a lousy day. That's something we can all relate to. By choosing a thought that this is about her, not me, I created compassion for her and stayed out of judgment toward myself. Now, instead of ruminating all day about her comment, I'm just letting it go and moving on. It's not my problem, and I don't have to internalize her words. I also don't have to push back about them and escalate the situation. Compassion allows me to drop it because I know we all have bad days, we all carry some stress, and we all make mistakes, myself included. In fairness, you might be thinking that it's easy for me to reframe my thoughts about Debbie's comment because I am a healthy eater and in maintenance at my happy, healthy weight. I don't disagree with that. This just happens to be a situation that occurred this week, so I'm sharing it. But we all have moments when someone is unkind about something that does cut deep, me included. Reframing can be used there too. A client of mine recently told me about how her mother comments on everything she eats. My client is 50 years old, but her mom continues this commentary that she started back when my client was a teenager. Wait, we need a pseudonym for my client. Let's call her Sandra. Sandra has dealt with her mom's comments for ages. Let's see if we can do a little mindset work, similar to what I did with Debbie's comments. When Sandra reaches for dessert and her mom says, "Are you sure you should eat that?" Sandra has a choice. She might think to herself, "I'm never good enough for her. She'll never love me for who I am." And when she thinks that, she feels unworthy and unlovable. And when she feels unworthy and unlovable, what happens? Maybe she doesn't seek out healthy relationships. Maybe she doesn't take care of herself because she's feeling unworthy of self-care. Maybe she just gives up on trying to eat healthy because she thinks it won't matter anyway. Now, I want you to do something for me. Take a moment and just think of one curated thought that Sandra could choose to think instead of, "I'm never good enough." Go ahead, take a moment. You can pause the podcast if that would help. I want you to really do this exercise because reframing our thoughts takes a lot of practice. In the beginning, it's incredibly hard to do this on the spot when you're starting to feel upset. You'll do it after the fact at first. I didn't land on my curated thought about Debbie until I mulled it over very deliberately much later. When you can catch your own unintentional negative thoughts that amplify other people's negative comments, you'll get faster at reframing them with practice. Eventually, you can do it live on the spot, which happens to me often these days, though the Debbie thing took some time. So what did you come up with for Sandra's reframing? Here's what I came up with, but it's just one option. Sandra can think, "My mom just wants me to be happy and healthy, and her comments come from a place of worry and love, not malice." If that's true, and she offers herself that thought, she might feel understanding, compassionate, or maybe just neutral about the comment. That doesn't mean she has to like her mom's comments, but reframing it as her mom loving her and worrying about her neutralizes the sting. The result of that reframing may be that she feels closer to her mom, or maybe she doesn't spiral into a cycle of unworthiness. Here's another idea for Sandra. "My mom has an inappropriate obsession with my weight, and that's her issue, not mine. It's actually not her business." If she thinks that thought, she might feel empowered to set some healthy boundaries with her mom about what she's going to do the next time her mom makes a comment about what she eats. I hope you have some other ideas for how Sandra might reframe that "I'm never good enough" thought to create a different feeling and ultimately a different outcome. You can do this for yourself anytime someone says something that hurts you. Actually, what I'm trying to say is that it's not their words that hurt you, it's your thoughts about their words. Debbie's words didn't hurt me because I thought her comment meant that she was somehow hurting. And I also thought it reflected more on her than on me in our group text. People are going to say rude things sometimes. People are going to say hurtful things, either on purpose or unintentionally. But the good news is that we have agency to decide if we're going to carry those words with us and own them, or if we're going to reframe them and ultimately reject them. This is the kind of thing we work on in my Smart Weight Loss Coaching program. To lose weight and maintain it, we need to manage our stress and learn how not to internalize other people's unkind words. It's a critical skill to acquire, and I'm still working on it myself, though it gets easier all the time. High stress increases our cortisol levels and can contribute to weight gain. So learning to choose thoughts that lift you up can indirectly be a weight loss tool. Kind of amazing, right? Now, it's time for you to set your NBA. Is there someone in your life whose words often send you spiraling? Maybe you want to practice reframing your thoughts when a stranger is rude. Again, this skill takes practice, but it's worth it. You are worth it, you matter, and you deserve to be treated with respect, whatever your weight, whatever your size, and whatever you eat or don't eat for lunch. Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like more support during your smart weight loss journey, check out our group coaching program at smartweightlosscoaching.com. Until next time, stay well and stay smart.